And I have returned. Welcome back. For those watching the VODs on YouTube, hello and welcome to the second half of the stream. Do all the social stuff, etc., etc. We are in the process of making iron, molten iron, through the unslimed iron processing part of the iron processing chain. And to that end, I have just converted and made processed iron. Hello, I have been joined by an Ollie. Yes, I've been joined by an Ollie. He has like a drip of water on his chin from just drinking something, I think. He just drank the Wawa. So in here with our processed iron in, it's time to do 22 automated screeners. And this is going to make a bit of stuff. A bit of stuff. 22. Now, I don't think I'm going to do recursion for you for this one. I can just get an extra space on each side. That's 6. Hmm. Alright, I might have to. I might have to get some Mark 1 factories in here. Just because fitting that into and that with belt is not happening logistically. I mean, yes, it's only 22 that I need, but regardless, can I make it work? Can I make it work? So, I think either way, there's going to be 3 outputs, and I need to have a output for the grade 1, the grade 2, and the grade 3. Grade 1. No. Grade 2. And then the last thingy is grade 3. That's going to be that way and that way. And I'm going to need to have at least 2 of these? At least 2 of these. So, if this is doing iron, let's see, if I have 12 in a line, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out, and 2 yellow belts of processed iron. 2 yellow belts of processed iron. 15 times 5 is totally 45. No, it's 75, so we're fine. I am wrong. That's times 3. Excuse me. So I have the plenty enough through this one stack of stuff. I have plenty. Thing is, I do need to do like a split here immediately to get up into this, and I sort of need that to be an input. This is where I'm going to get my spacing correct, by the way, and the way that I'm going to do this output. So because I saw that this is 15, less than 15, it's actually easier if I have this 1 tile higher. And then this is going to be the output. This will be the output. Now, each singular building is trying to move 0.75, but it is 3 swings each. I am thinking it's going to be possible for the... It is possible for the blue inserters. However, I am going to use loaders here. Hi, Ollie. Bye, Ollie. Especially since I have this space, I need to also unstack somewhere. May as well be there. There we go. That last one is actually one of those. Same deal underneath, just input, 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 input. This way, splitters, up, 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 and away. Grab that thingy into there. So the question then becomes, what about the other side? What about this thing? Well, as I had said, this is going to be fine to be that period of tiles closer, and then it's exactly identical, except one less. So you are going to be there with that, and same thing. This there. Again with that. So now I can actually get my inserters going. Just like so. Input. And away we go. We are off to the races. We have completed this particular step of stuffs and things. Now, I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put this... Ew. It, by necessity, has to be about there. So, what I want to do, actually, is combine these various things. Which is going to be 3, which is going to be 2, and which is going to be 1. Well, I guess this is going to be 3. Actually, it's this line. There's 3. And then 2. Oh. Bleh. Sure. Then 1. Really, it doesn't matter here in this spaghetti mess. So we did it. We did it. We did this thing here without having to resort to absolute utter shenanigans with the recursion. Yay! Now that's a thing I can repeat for another 90 processing, 90 per second processing. Okay, this means I'm gonna have 3 things here. What is the building count of these next steps? Well, no matter what, this is going to have to go elsewhere for the grade 1. There's 10.8 grade 1 here. And then I'm going to double it with this next step. So, yay, we're going to have 2 lines for grade 1 in the end. It is time for this next building. This next building is going to have 22 buildings doing 2 things, and it needs to get rid of gravel. Which... God, how am I going to get rid of the gravel? Good questions. How am I going to get rid of the gravel on this day without resorting to BS? That is the caveat, without actually resorting to bowl stuff. That is one tile in. Whoops. And just the same one tile in. That'll be where that grade 1 is going to come through. Just waiting on construction bots now to come get some Mark II buildings, or I could just go and obtain a few. I'm going to sneeze. I managed to hit the button in time. Yay! I was able to move my mouse to click a button because I don't actually have a physical mute button anywhere. It's a shame. I think I have a keyboard shortcut, but I've forgotten it. I don't use it all that much. Let's see. I need these things. Yeah, just a few of these would be great to have on hand. Let's head on back up. Get rid of that. And that. I don't need those. I don't need those pipes. I don't need no stinking pipes like that. I do not need those pipes. I also don't need the screeners anymore, so let's get rid of those screeners. And, like, all of the other requests that I had added. Yeah, that's fine. That 'tis fine. Now, of course, there's also the concept of having the markers, of, like, what does what, but, eh. By the way, what even does... Oh. Hi. There it is. We can look inside. We have a window, picture-in-picture, of what's happening inside of these buildings. If it's moving or not. We can see that stuff is moving through our window. Through our beautiful window, we can see what's empty and what's not. Hey, you were going to give me a thing. Yeah, we can see that these things are operational with that. Good to know. Show me all of your stuffs. Your inputs and outputs. There. So, these two things. What is first? First is to convert 3 to 2, and then I have to convert all of the 2 into 1. Grades 3 to 2, and then all of that 2 into 1, and we will start this process with secondary crushers 11. Why is it 11? It's 12. It's 12. It's 12, not 11. Out you go. That way. Or, in the alternative, out you go that way. How much total grade 2? 10.8. So yeah, this can combine. Yes, and 1 for perfection. Yes, 3 into 2. The grade 3 will need to be split going up and fed in this way. This, however, it's not this step that has the byproducts, it's the next step that has the byproducts. So, have to bear that in mind. It is the next step that has byproducts. Ba, 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 and ba, ba. We are making grade 2. Huzzah. Now for the impact crushers. The impact crushers are going to make more than 15 items per second of these things. Which means I'm doing the opposite of what I just did here for these next impact crushers. Now, impact crushers are smaller, or not impact, secondary. Wait, did I just... Bleh. Yes, impact crushers are... I'm like getting confused with myself here. The impact crushers are smaller. They are significantly smaller, which helps. So this is going to be actually one line in here. And this is going to be the grade 2, because we have less than 15 of the grade 2 in, but we have more than 15 per second out of stuff in the end. So, opposite situation. There we go. Just add inserters. And the, stuffs, things. Recipes. Alright, what to do with gravel is always the question. What am I going to do with this gravel? So, gravel. I need to deal with how much? 5.4 units of gravel. It can be converted into sand in a singular jaw crusher, and then I could do something with the sand, I guess. Otherwise, not much else. I can't, like, convert it into a fluid that I can just get rid of. If I convert it into sand, I can convert it into stuff. Into rich dust? Into quartz ore? Into pure sand? And what? Sands for sand castings? No, if I want sand, I want a dedicated sand. Like I would want dedicated sand. So it's like, the sand is just dead, basically. It's just a dead thing. So either way, there's no real getting around having to void. There's really no way of getting around having to void. So I will need my burner line somewhere. Which there is not enough room to burner, I think. Not quite ideal spacing for burning. I mean, I can make it fit, but it makes the logistics more painful. Far more painful. Because that would be like the fuel, and then this would be the input. But I would also have to, like, figure out a way to snake this down or something, and then get it. And then what I had wanted was all the G1 here, right? So actually this would be going down, and I would need to figure out this up here, split the gravel the other way, split the thing on the input, get the other thing for the gravel through the other side, get the gravel combined and over and down, See how dumb this is? And I would have to bring this there. See how dumb this is? And then ideally, what I would actually do is I would also stack the gravel. So that is what I would end up doing, and then I have to not forget to have that. But, of course, I need a solid fuel. I need a solid fuel. And the way I've built this is that the solid fuel will have to come from the top in here, so although I could get it in from the bottom, I'm pretty sure. Oops, but that's fine. That actually works just fine. I can get this in from the bottom and just reverse this belt to there, and then we're good. We're fine. Here, have a little bit of initial coke, just to feed yourself some coke. I have plenty of coke. Just to throw that out there. So this is the finished thing. It just needs a it needs an input. Oh, that's useful. It actually highlights the thingies where they are. But not if you don't have the R thing placed. That's sad. That's very sad. Pretty sure that this has plenty of coke, actually, so I could have just brought it from the... I could have just brought it from the top, but no. And I'm going to need a supply of coke anyway for the actual molten casting, and I need borax too. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, this is gonna be real fun. So what I'll eventually do is I'm gonna put a dedicated tar, right? I'm gonna somehow fit this somewhere. Maybe not even in a factory, because I don't know about you, but this is a little bit tall. This is a little bit tall to fit in a single factory smo building. I can make it fit. Absolutely, I can make it fit in the squared space of a Factorismo factory, but it's like, do I really wanna? Do I really wanna? Do I gotta do that? And then there's also these, right? Then there's this, because it's tar into this heavy oil refinery with the pressure pumps, which is gargantuan in size, just to get the coke that I need. Also, I did not actually do the finishing of that thing. Pour the belt in, and there we go. Enjoy your fuel. So, this particular factory. Oh boy. We have done that. Now we need to convert 1-to-1 iron ore grade 1, iron grade 1 into ore dust in 30 ball mills. That, I'm going to hazard a guess and say, is not going to fit. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that that is not really viable. How many is that? That is exactly 30. But is the spacing worth it? I have Bob's adjustable inserters. So, if worse comes to worse, that is an option. That is an option of a thing that I can utilize. So this is 5 rows of 6. Which means splitting this, theoretically it's each 10.8 units per second. Splitting this in 5 evenly. Now, I'm pretty sure we already know how to split this into 5 evenly. Do I want to use this, though, to do so? No, I don't. I want a smaller building to do that. And I'm not currently automating the production of sheds and storehouses. So I will be using a storehouse for this, which means I need to make storehouses. Now I have all the stuff to make the storehouses, just need the robots to bring the stuff to make them. Looks like I am a little bit short on steel. The whole purpose of doing this is so that I'm not short on steel anymore. That's always going to be the case, is that you're going to be stuck waiting on something that you are in the process of improving. So just give me some steel, please. Just steal me some steel from this. By the way, I decided to off-screen add my pyrite into solar panels process because I already have a source of iron oxide and a source of sulfur. The source of iron oxide is here on the chromite sand. I thought I told it to... Oh. Wait, what? How did... Oh. Hi. Why do I always do this? I always do this. I always do this to myself. So what was happening was that I was getting stacked chromite as well as stacked iron oxide from this stupid splitter, contaminating the belt. That's exactly what was going on there. So I was just saying that I was in the process of constantly having a slow source of iron oxide, as well as having a slow source of sulfur through the lube that I can just void excess of, so that I can make the pyrite. I have a consistent source of pyrite, so I have a consistent source of solar panels now. And I will absolutely at some point in time go around and actually place these solar panels to power my power, so I don't have to worry about any death spirals, any positive feedback loops reducing down to 0. Anyway, that's that. Ideally taken care of. I wanted a shed. I was down there for a storehouse. Not a shed, a storehouse. Let's actually, grab one. The whole point of being here was to grab this Now these are significantly smaller. They are 3 by 3, a little bit bigger than the 2 by 2. That is the shed. So I needed room to have 5 plus 2, 7 slots, and that's exactly what the storehouse will give me. That is precisely the benefit of my storehouse here. Now, the question is, where do I arrange it? I think that's going to be my arrangement. That actually makes it a lot more difficult. There. I now have 5 evenly done belts of stuff to input into these. Why 5? Laziness? Laziness? I could share. I could actually have it in 3. What am I thinking? This can be 3, and it converts 1 to 1, so it doesn't really matter which way things go. I can have one output here. I can have an input here. I can have an output here. I can have an input here. I can have an output here. And this is where it gets interesting. There's my input. It is exactly perfect. It is exact. What? How did I make it perfect? It's perfect. I can give myself a little bit more space on this side by shifting over the 2 tiles if I really want those 2 tiles, but I think I can manage. No, not that one. Already messing up. So, inserters. I will assign the recipe here. Making iron ore dust. And then I'm just gonna copy, rotate, paste, 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 paste. Let my nanobots do work. Grab that. Grab that. And I can actually trim that. Have your G1 back. Now I have to go 3 into 2. That's easy enough with another shed. Yeah, I'll do that there. That'll rotate up. That'll go there, there. And then 2 out. Ta-da! There's our stuff. Beautiful, glorious, wonderful stuff. Can you believe it? And it's been built in this much space on the map. This is the power of the Factory Smo buildings. And by the way, just for reference, again, this is the first real time I've ever used Factory Smo on a playthrough that I intend to finish. I should clarify. I have used it, but not in any game that's gotten like even this far. And I still basically bypassed the level 1 tier of Factorismo buildings because they're too small. They are way too small for purpose. For porpoise. Alright, next building is not going to fit 36 hydroclassifiers in it, no matter what I do, as it stands. So, we're gonna use the Mark 1s in here, as I bring in my beautiful and wonderful dust. Yes, I also need to think about potentially getting iron ore dust for uranium, but I think that's just going to end up as this. Just like a straight up copying of these buildings and their contents with the production of additional iron, and just use additional iron for ore dust for whatever processes I need the ore dust for in the end, instead of leeching off of this. So, 36 hydro classifiers, which have a lot of logistics associated with them. Where are my hydro classifiers? Excuse me. I don't have any hydro classifiers on me. Did I just not say give me 60 hydro classifiers, or did I just not have any? I don't have any. That explains a lot. I don't have any hydro classifiers. I was pretty certain that I assigned... Oh, okay. That explains everything. Here, place the thingy. Place the thingy. Make flotation. Make it a flotation cells. Please. Make them quickly, please. Oh, steel. Of course! Of course it uses steel. Yes, make those to make all of these. I need all of these. I need over 60 of these. Or I need 58 of these. This is gonna take a while. I'm gonna toss that concept out there. This is gonna take a while. As we sit here on ×5 game speed. By the way, I've been set to ×5 this whole time. We're like 2 and a fraction. We're not ×5 right now. We're like barely even ×3. So I guess I need to like set that ×2. So what's all that processing going on? Let's have a look, actually. If I set it back to 5, and I do F4 and look at show time usage, what's using up all the update time? So we are at a 3.4 on game update. What's script? 1.4. What's all of that coming from? It's just a lot of... It's just rather additive of all the stuff that I have, I think. Factorismo is actually 0.15. That's a pretty high value. Bottleneck is about the same, though, so that's not really any problem. Oh, and then it's just gone down. Something's running every so often. I think that's pushing that up, but otherwise, the entity update is the biggest factor, and then actually transport lines at 1. That's fairly significant. Do I really have that much belt? Like, do I really have that much belt? I do have a fair bit of belt, but that's like nothing by comparison. Well, regardless, what's going on in here is enough to slow me down considerably compared to times 5, but if I'm on times 2, it should keep up anyway still. Not any issues here, but biggest thing is just number of entities. That's just going to continue being a problem. Is that number of entities. That's going to be the main thing, slowing me down. It's not even really the bots, primarily, I think. I mean, bots are entities. Like, let's get that also out of the way. Every single bot counts as an entity and slows you down. Every bot is an entity. So is every train, but that actually gets its own separate thing. The logistic bots themselves, the existence and the movement of the bots. I think the logistic manager is what's controlling like the orders for the bots, maybe. And construction manager is controlling the orders. But the actual existence and rendering of the bots, that's what consumes a fair amount of resources. A pretty good amount of resources there. That being said, I think I consistently see people saying that belts are actually worse performance-wise than robots, but I don't know about that. Like, all of my experience using bots and using belts is showing me that my performance goes down when I add bots. Every time. No exception, there is a significant difference in performance from the moment I add bots to my base. Going from belts to bots. So, yeah. Granted, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff, yes, and what would the performance be if I tried to do this with belts? That would be the point of comparison. It's like, well, what if you made everything that you're having the bots do take belts, and theoretically it would actually be worse performance. But I don't know that for certain. So how many of these have we made? 15. We don't even have enough for the next step. We need 36. We need over double the amount that I have. It's still a steel thing, so yeah, let's steal some steel. Toss in a full doohickey of the steel. Who's got iron? Who's got some stacks of iron? You do. Here, have a stack of iron. And how about special or regular small parts? Lots and lots and lots of small parts. You've got some small parts. Here, have some small parts. Yes, move. Move! Move, my minions! I don't really like that this uses steel twice effectively by consuming the flotation cell and needing additional steel. Like, why do I need additional steel? 30 units of steel per hydroclassifier, effectively. We have 32 now. 30, 33, and 34, and 35, and 36. Okay, we have enough for the next step. Maybe by the time I finish this next step, I'll have sufficient amounts for the unslimed step. We're all ready to unslimed. Like, once we get through this, making this iron pulp. Wait, what? I did not order this correctly. Yes, it's iron pulp because it's slime and pulp. That's it. That's it. It is this. So, 36 of this with water in, and with 2 fluids out, and with solids in, and with a solid input. Yeah. See, about that. This is nowhere even remotely close to the amount of space that is needed for 36 of these things. Like, even if I built like this and tried to paste out a whole bunch of these, the best I could do is like let's ignore that the belts are in the wrong direction for a second, but the best I can do is 12 on here, and that's half the building already. So I can do 24. I can do 24. Yes, 6 in 6 buildings is what I'm thinking about. But we'll see how many actually genuinely fit. So yeah, that's not as much of an option. So we will do recursion in here. Starting with a factory here. Now, the extra shenaniganry here is that we have 2 fluids this time rather than solids. We have to deal with fluids coming out of this building this time. Now the other question, the other thing to think about is, okay, if this is going to be 4 of these, if this is actually going to be 4 6x4, not 6x4, but 6x6, right? 6x6 for 36. If I'm going to have 6 of these buildings doing all this, I could have additional buildings doing the next 2 steps in here and just fully output Unslimed Iron and just finish off Unslimed Iron and just have it be done that way. So I think that's how I will do it, is just have it done that way. Now, it's unfortunate that I can't fit 6 side by side. That's so sad that I can't have 6 side by side. But I can have 3 side by side. With some amount of space between, but I'll need to consider logistics and all that. And let's actually, instead of having them way over here, they'll be like here and at the very tip top. So I'll build this once with the hydro classifiers, the 6 hydro classifiers. I will go ahead and actually have this here this way. That's 6 hydro classifiers. Now, can I fit more? Can I fit double? That's the better question, is can I fit twice as many? And the answer to that is probably maybe. That's a maybe. Pretty sure I can fit another 3 on the side and make it 3 rows of 4. Pretty sure I can have 3 rows of 4. Nope, I can't. Oh god, that's the machine. Just, it was a disconnection beeping. on that phone call answering machine. At least the answering machine this time actually saw it as a not message and didn't record it, so it won't continue to beep at me saying I have a message. So it's unfortunate, but we're one tile. We are hashtag one tile off from being able to fit another row of 4 in here. So that's unfortunate. That's highly unfortunate. There is the option of doing undergrounds. Oh, and I have to think about the water too. So there's no way the water would fit in here. The water input if I chose to do things that way. So in the end, I am going to only have 6 inside of one of these. It's going to be somewhat oriented with the inputs ports here and here. Just doing that right there. The outputs, that will combine the outputs of that. This will go in here. This will go whatever this way. Now there are special input-output pipes for like high throughput stuff. I am not going to bother. I am not going to bother with that. Now the question is, can I do this with undergrounds, or can I do this? Do I need to do this with regulars? Probably have to do this with regular pipe. This is such a waste of resources using that much of a gap. I should use the regular pipe whenever possible. So, fluids. Water. Wawa. I need the Wawa. There we go. So, trim the ends off of that, and we're good. I think we're good. That's just add stuffs. So I can just copy this and paste it 6 times. Looks like I am just going to do the line of 5 and then +1. That one. There's that one. There's that one. There's that one. And then, let's get rid of this belt. I don't need this belt. And then there's going to be one that's going to be mirrored. But I'll think of that once I get the 2 thingies here. Alright, how much each do I need? 1.8 each doohickey. Which means that 10.8... Which means that 10.8 is 18. So that's 3 each. So I can just go and bring those over 1 more tile down. Just so that I can do... Let's see, that's actually you, and you. That should be sufficient for that one. And then, I guess this last factory... Hmm. Yeah, I guess that's gonna have to be the spacing. Ah, no. The pipes, yeah, I have to do the pipe stuff too. It would block, well, I have squeak through, right? So even if I have a pipe there, I can still get in and out. So this fluid out, and then this fluid out should be fine. And if I do one tile down to connect stuff, still not gonna work. Yeah, that's just gonna be logistically challenging if I keep it this way. Alright, you are gonna get picked up. This is actually just kind of like circle around and then split into stuff, I guess. Whatever. Grab everything. Go at like 2 tiles down at least. There we go. That'll go there. I'll get the building placed there just so that we are consistent in space. Saying that's not the tiles, that's the tiles. Da-ding. I am out of piped grounds. I have ran out of piped grounds. I need to restock. So let's restock. There's that. And we'll grab the rest of the hydroclassifiers, I guess. Let's actually set that request to 30. Although chances are they'll bring anything and everything that I have available at the moment. Bring me things. Bring me things. You are bringing me things. Good. Good. I did not have a huge stock of those piped grounds. Let's stock up a little bit more on those piped grounds. That sounds like a much better idea. Alright, so we're not quite done this step, but we're pretty close. We are pretty close, and then we can start making that unslimed and get beautiful things. Get beautiful things. We're not going to completely finish this off on stream. I will probably wrap up the casting stuff off screen because we've seen casting. Like we've seen the casting process. That's fine. It's just we haven't done on screen this unslimed iron in a while. The actual process of making the unslimed iron in a little while. Let's see, you are short on circuits. Of all things to be lacking. Circuits. Time to give you a few circuits from other locations. 17, 18... That was not the thing I wanted to grab from you. That was... Enjoy the small parts. Also, I need more steel. Steal the steel. Steal the steel. Alright, we have 22. precisely the amount that I need. And I definitely have the hydrocyclones. I can get rid of those impact crushers. I can stop that request now. I can get rid of this FB reactors that I seem to be carrying around, as well as the secondary crushers. Those stupid local radars don't need to exist in my inventory, as well as those botanical nurseries, the turbines, the solid seps, jaw crushers. Let's just have some inventory space available to me right now. Yes, I'm carrying classifiers. Those actually have use. Those actually have use. Let's head on back up. My goodness, what a difference the Factorio Rismo buildings make. Alright, have you built things? Have you produced stuff? Yes, you have produced both of the stuffs. Hello! Welcome! Welcome to the land of glorious iron processing. Yeah, so either way... This is gonna be a bit of a pain. So I have to go over and down, and I have to try to figure out, does that still load? Yes. That does still load, which actually helps make this logistics a little bit easier. Just a smidge. Just a tiny bit. Because I can just go one down, one down, one down, one down. Da-da, 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 da-da. Granted, I will have to, like, go elsewhere. Actually, you know what? That's probably a better idea. Yeah, I know there's chests that can show you what it's building. The thing is, this doesn't take fluids. Like, step one, this is, you have to put a thing into the chest for it to show you what it's making. So you sort of need to have the thing that it's making. Like, I really don't actually like these controllers. I don't need these controllers. I know what I'm making in these. I can look at what the inputs are and what the outputs are and know what the machine is doing. Like, I can tell what it's doing. Like, oh hey, there's iron here. Gee, I wonder what I'm doing with my iron here. Don't need that level of shenaniganry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this be on this side, essentially. Yes, that is exactly what I am going to do. And then this guy, I don't know how I'm going to connect him. Probably just bring that over there, and then up and over, and blah de blah. De blah, de blah, de blah, de blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Off the air with no logistics robots. Or like the cargo bots. Yeah, that would be not so nice. That would be not so nice. Having a series without any bots whatsoever. Yeah, the belts all the way, trains all the way. I mean, I already build mostly belts. I mean, what more do you want? You want me to just not have bots for my mall to build my buildings? Where's the, like, real fun in that? That seems like tedium more than fun. And you know my thoughts on tedium at this point. I would imagine that folks know my thoughts on tedium at this point. Okay, this next building needs both water and it needs water and it needs voiding of tailings. And it's 22. 22 divided by... That does not go evenly into 6, because that's a prime. It's a prime number, it's 11. Can I fit 11 in this orientation of stuff? I think so. There's a solid out and no solid in. I have to see, can I fit 11? Can I even fit 11 of these hydroclassifiers? So, let's see, that is the slimed into unslimed. For... one tile down. I think the answer is yes. Very easily. But it does need water. And if it's 11, I can fit the water. And the voiding. Wow. That's great. Oh, I could still use construction bots, but not the Logi bots? Nah. Like cargo Logi bots, no. No, I need those. And I never use combat bots either, so that's a thing. Let's see. Water. This doesn't use a ton of water. This one is plenty. One is plenty. It's unfortunate I don't have the ability to offset this all that much, but oh well. I can do that, though. With that, and... then I need to get it up and over. And I need to consider the, actual proper logistics for the belt for the outputs, because I need to do my output belt here. Oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna be thrilling. That is going to be thrilling. I will actually... Oh. Hi. Yeah, that's more like it. There. Just so that I can have space for these undergrounds. They're gonna go outwards. Yeah, outwards. That's the idea. Then whatever spot here, I don't know. Whatever works. Whatever works. And then I have to figure out, well, what am I gonna do with the water? I can do this way. What day of the playthrough is this? 10. This is day 10. Last stream I forgot to iterate to 9. It said 8 a second time on the stream title. So today is day 10. It is in the stream title. I can go whoop just all the way and stuff and things. Just all stuff and things there. Let's see. I need the outputs. There. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work that way. Not right there. That works though. Ta-da! And I already have niobium, yes. See, divide this number by 5, and that's how much real time, effectively, I've spent in this playthrough so far. So, you know, it makes sense that I should have that by now. 424.5 over 424.5 over 5. 85-ish hours. You know, that's of real time. Yeah. Just a bit of real time has been spent in this. I definitely need an input port for the slimed iron. For my slime. Some sort of input for slime will be ideal. This is the water, which is fine. Slime. Oh, right. Donkey. And down and over. Sure, why not? We'll be snaky. We'll be snaky. Okay. And nothing is stopping me from doing multiple things to void, right? But I guess this works just fine. And this makes not 200 tailings, so that, yes, half of 360 is not 200. So I just need to get the stuff into that building there. Or there. Ta-da! Alright. But yeah, I sort of blitzed my way. Oh. 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 So, cheating, if you can call it that. This outputs on the far side lane. This outputs on the far side lane. It doesn't look nice, but it works. It absolutely works. 4 is like 0.5. It does not, or 4 is more than 0.5. 4 is 0.67, 2/3. It works because it's outputting on the far side lane. If it was on the inside lane, it would stop here, but because it's on the far side lane, it will go down and be perfectly okay and fine. I can't believe I made that work. I cannot believe that I made that work. Now, what fluid port do I want to use? What port do I want to use for the fluid, for the slime? It should be on the bottom. And far and away from this, so off we go. I can actually go all the way down to there. Slime! Iron slime. You are there, and then the output is there. And I need to make sure that I go into all these buildings and like, hey, you are output only. I need to make sure these are all set to fluid output only, otherwise there could be some UPS issues later, or like actual throughput issues later on down the line. There's that. Do I want that there? No. Want it there. Because we're about to put down another one of these. With a copy of this. Right there. And that's our 22. Making the unslimed iron. Which... Why are you not? What? Oh, because, you know, in. In, not out. In. In with the slime. Slime must enter. And the stuff must exit. Unslimed iron the first. Alright, good. Good! Now for unslimed iron the second. 4 hydrocyclones. I mean... yeah? So the thing about these hydrocyclones is that they won't be existing forever in this setup, because once I do go into processing at high grade, the grade 1 pulp changes in how it gets processed. It gets processed in a jig when going for unslimed iron. So that is the main thing that changes. The void. Look into the void. Less than 200, so it works just fine. Just add water. Why over here? Because that sizing sucks. Hey, we've got things. It's moving. It's moving. It's alive. If only this thing wasn't so huge. If only the building wasn't so tall. That would be great. Okay, now where do I want my unslimed iron to exit? Where shall we exit? There. We have exited the building as unslimed iron. That is not the spot. That is the spot. We did it! Unslimed iron processing. Well, at the very least, the making of the unslimed iron. Right? The making of the unslimed iron. That is what I really wanted to at least get done today. And then actually processing it, I can do that off screen. We've seen casting and melting of the stuff before. The only real difference here is the extra molten steel stuff, but it's just iron plus coke. It's iron and coke. It's iron and coke. Otherwise, local production of hot air needs to happen. Production of the actual coke needs to happen. This is not an insignificant amount of coke. Even at half and half split of this molten that we're producing. So we're looking at a lot. We're looking at exactly 24.6 coke, which is, yeah, more than the 250 tar if I'm doing the coke via tar, which I'm doing the coke via tar. You can't stop me. How much of that is going to be in the Factorismo buildings? I don't know. I mean, I have dedicated this entire 6.5 by 6.5 what was it called again? Chunk of rail grid segment, this rail grid segment. This entire thing is dedicated to iron ore processing. Iron ore processing. That's this whole thing. This whole thing. So yeah, I can do some stuff not in the Factorismo buildings. Some stuff, like the creation of the coke from this. You know, two of these. Two of these side by side. With a line of this stuff, like 8 long, would produce plenty of the coke that I need. Right? And then I also need to make the more than 15, the 17.3 borax in as well. Because, but that, of course, we've seen the borax. We've seen the borax. It's the exact same setup. In fact, I might do the borax at scale next. Use Factorismo for farms, only for farms. I don't know about that. I may. I may. Let's just say that the Mukmo pastures are 16 by 16 buildings. I don't know how many would fit inside of even a Mark II Factorismo building comfortably, let alone using recursion to fit them into Mark 1s. It's like, you've got how many in there? And that's using up an entire space, right? That would use up an entire surface that spawned in. Like, no. 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 No, I'm much more comfortable doing the ore processing because I do a lot. This is a huge ore processing setup that is split into several smaller chunks of high throughput. This is really high throughput. Just to throw that out there, in these buildings, we are processing 90 iron ore. 90 iron ore is being processed in these buildings right now. There is a significant savings in space, but it's also really good use of the surfaces, generally. This has a lot of empty space in it, but whatever. It's a much better use of the surfaces than, I think, trying to put absolutely gargantuan buildings inside of these. Maybe things like the Relesia would be fine, because those aren't huge buildings. The Kikalk aren't particularly huge, but for things like the Mukmo pastures, I just really don't know what I'm going to do. And things like the doohickeys, the heavy oil refineries, just the gigantic buildings, I don't know about using, at the very least, the Mark II factories. Maybe the Mark III factories, where I can get a bit more output for the surface, right? So maybe by the time I get the Mark III factories, I might want to do those Factorismo buildings using those giant stuffs, but yeah. And then, as for, like, the fish farms, I mean, yeah, these I think are small enough to be okay. These are the same size, I think, as... No, these are pretty big. These are pretty big. These are bigger than DDCs. These are the same as the heavy oil refineries, aren't they? Yeah, they are. They are much, 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 much bigger. So yeah, I don't really think I'm going to use these inside of the factory small buildings just because they're a bit too big. They're a bit too big, and I would need a whole bunch of factory small buildings to gain what? Space? Space in an infinite map? Space in an infinite map? The whole idea here is just having some degree of abstraction where I don't really need to think about what's going on inside of each of these individual buildings. It's just iron in, processed iron out, right? Stacked iron in, specifically stacked iron in, processed iron out, processed iron in, grade 1, 2, and 3 out, grade 2 and 3 in, more grade 1 out, and coke in on this, and then a whole bunch of grade 1 in, dust out, dust in, unslimed out in here, this one. Dust in, unslimed out. I don't need to think about the fact that this is also dust in, pulp 1, iron slime out. I don't need to think about what's going on inside of any of these. While I know what's happening inside of these, I don't need to think about it anymore. I can copy paste stuff that I need the internals of in other things. This is the idea for factory smoke, is that it makes it so that you don't really have to think about stuff going forward. You build something once, and then you have a very consistent space to work with that you can just copy and paste into anytime you need more of a thing. Can that apply to the farms? Sure, but then it gets into the, like, repeating yourself situation where you've got then tons of the same thing, which again is probably not something you really want either. You want a few number of things that can be copied to give you a huge output, big outputs on this would be more ideal. More ideal, and that's what you get with the processing of plates. Outputs of very useful things at scale, but again, my thoughts can change on this when I really get to looking at what I can actually fit inside of these things. So all of that may change, but just trying to think about the concept of fitting 200 plus Mukmo pastures. Like, trying to fit... Let's find a good thingy in here somewhere. I have urea. Like, say I want to do this factory in factory small buildings. 53 Mukmo pastures? Like, what? Let's pin that and see, like, okay. I need 53 of these. I can fit 2. 3 at most. And then without the logistics, it would be 3. I can fit 2 in a level 1. With reasonable space for logistics to happen. Right? Like, that's in a Mark 1. Like, it just doesn't work for some buildings, logistically. It's like, oh, I'm gonna put this in this thing and do 2 buildings in this thing and have, like, 50 of, or 25 of them. Or 26 factory small buildings. It's like, then what's the point? There's no point anymore to that. It just dies completely. It's why I really didn't want to use the Mark 1 buildings to begin with, but you know, and then it's marginally larger on the Mark 2s. Marginally larger on the Mark 2s. If I go inside here, I should have this. Like, okay, now I can fit probably... That's not good enough. It's going to be 2. 4 reasonably in a Mark II. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But anyway, with that, folks, we have reached the end of the stream today. If you can believe it, we have reached the end of today's stream. What got done today was making of the unslimed iron itself, not the full processing of the unslimed iron, but we made the unslimed iron, which is, you know, fantastic to say the least, and it's the first foray into designing with Factorissimo. Finally showing off Factorissimo and how that works. Which, yeah, I would definitely say if you're trying to conserve on space, it's a good option. It's a good option if you're trying to conserve on space for something huge, because we just built the infrastructure of something that would have been larger than this, right? Probably have to do both of these squares to fit the amount of infrastructure that just went into 5. 5 plus the recursion, plus 4 plus 6. 4 and 6, 10. Or 4 and 8, 12. 12 Mark 1s in 5 Mark 2s. Anyway, again, with that, thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you are watching the VODs on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow to be notified when I go live. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. until approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can do all of the social stuff through the links below the video, including supporting Pyanodon's mods development at patreon.com/Pyanodon and myself at patreon.com/OtakuShowboat. I will, of course, be back on Thursday, where we're going to move on to the grade 4 copper processing. And then we'll see as we continue down this list what the next thing I want to do is. I just really need resources. Like right now, I need resources. Lots of resources, specifically steel, but also titanium at some point, and more copper, because almost all of the copper right now is going into circuits. Right? It's going into circuits. And once I get into tin and glass and titanium, well, it's at that point I might consider just it time to migrate stuff that's on the mall into this grid stuff. So, and do it at scale in better processes for a lot of the stuff that's on the mall already, on the bus, I should say, and start to you know, deconstruct the bus. That's something I didn't really do in Paidew Valley, is move and then deconstruct the old infrastructure. Yeah, I should deconstruct the old infrastructure. Once I get this grade 4 copper, for example, I need to deconstruct this infrastructure. Just delete it from existence completely, because it'll no longer be required and it will be superfluous. Yeah, so with that, again, thank you all for watching. I will see you all on the next one.